So the track is really simple for now because I tried everything yesterday. I was trying out stuff for like 4 hours, and then the last 30 minutes I came up with the whole thing. So that's basically why I don't want to start tracks from scratch while I make videos, because it takes me a lot of time. The kick that I am using is an 808. Lately, I discovered how simple it is to use an 808 for a good kick. I have been looking for a good kick for years, and I had it in front of me all the time. If you take a kick, an 808 like this, you shorten up, it becomes a really fat and a nice kick. Sounds good. Then I have just a little bit of drums, nothing special. I used this hi-hat as a snare. And then after the break, the drums got a little bit more interesting, but still very, very simple. I have a clap and some other hi-hats. Most of the hi-hats are from the deadmau5 sample pack. It's one of the best analog drum machines sample packs. It's a really old sample pack. I have it, I think, for 8 years now, and you have a lot of really good hi-hats mainly, but also snares. I first laid down the kick, and then I was looking for a vocal, and I did the simplest thing in the world. I went to Google, and I on YouTube wrote down a cappella, and look what I found here: Ariana Grande Dangerous Woman a cappella, and it's original from Ariana Grande, so the quality is top notch. So I had to treat it not to make it so recognizable. So let's see. So I take down a couple of semitones, and I did some warping. So this is before the warp, but it's not that much, as you can see. Then we have just a chorus. Then also this part I took from this is sound she makes with she snaps his finger. And there's a little bit of a cue. And then this part, this breath. Okay, the cool thing about this, I think, is the noise that you have in the background that feels a lot. I mean, it feels the track a lot. So you hear the noise in the background is all from the original voice, the original vocal, and it feels a lot the track. This is without. So it makes the difference. It's a little bit dirty. Then what do we have? We have the bassline. The bassline was the last thing that I did, and it's made with plots. So I sequenced it on the Beatstep Pro. At the moment, we also have this click, which is a little bit annoying, but I'll try to take it out maybe later. Then I have this bass, which is made with the Sam V2 from Arturia, and this together with the bass helps. Without and with it. So I think the trick with bass is, most of the times, at least in my case, is to layer different bass sounds, because they complete each other. And then I have this synth here. Okay, this is from Ableton stock. No, it's not from the stock sounds. It's from the other packs that you download when you can download from Ableton website if you bought Ableton. I'm experimenting a little bit with the sounds in here, because there is some potential, in my opinion, and it's working pretty good. The process on the kick, on the bass, is really simple. There's nothing. So more simple than that you can't. It's all sound. The sound, it's all from Platz. So for now, there's no EQ. There's nothing. You EQ and compress the bassline. Compression is not always needed. If you look at the waveform, it's pretty controlled. You don't see peaks. So compression in this case is not needed for controlling the sound. Maybe it's needed for shaping the sound. So a little bit of compression maybe would help to have a longer sustain on the bass. But I still have this sound, this sequence saved on my Beatstep Pro. So, and I can change how long is lasting the sound. So maybe I could record one part with a longer sustain. There's always a little bit of latency when you record things from external gear, because the sync between the Arturia Beatstep Pro and the computer is not always perfect. So I always have to take the sound and look if it's aligned with the grid. If it's not, I adjust it. A lot of people ask me about arrangement. I don't know anything about arrangement. Basically, a lot of Romanian tracks have really long drops, but to keep things a little bit more exciting, I now stay with a minute of drop and then a break, which could be like 8 bars or 16 bars. Depends how much I want to create suspense. So in this case, I think that this is like a minute. When you have a 126 tempo from 124 to 126, 16 measures is around a minute. So I always go by multiples of 8, 16, 32, sometimes 24, but it's rarer. If you listen to Traumer, a lot of Traumer tracks are completely different from the standards. He used to have really long drops with a strange number of measures, 36, then it goes to 40, 45. So it's a little bit strange, but I have not the ability to make interesting a track with that kind of measures or numbers. So I stay with the classic number of measures. So I'm going to try out something with the Wurlitzer or the Rhodes, which are two electric pianos you can find in the Arturia bundle. Before recording the keyboard, I want to record a hi-hat from the Electron, which helps a little bit. Then I consolidate and I'll transform it to loop. So you can hear it on the background a little bit, which helps the groove. Let me check the questions. For the volume for kick and bass and hats, I have no rules. I do it by ear. vocals, I don't buy vocals back for I think years now. All the vocals that I use are from YouTube or from music that I like. Okay, for fitting the bass with the rest of the track, my way is to never play the bass with the kick. So I always try to alternate. Where there's the kick, there's no bass. You see? And that helps to make them audible together. Okay, so let's try the piano right now. I would like to be better with piano. Oh, the chorus. So this is the boring part, because I would spend hours on getting the right velocity. You don't need to have it perfectly aligned to the grid. No. What the resampling. Okay, this I saw this on a YouTube video. There are probably too much empty spaces on this sample that I'm using. I would record another part a little bit different with more chords. I'd adjust this part a little bit. So, but basically that would be what I would try. And also adjusting this, the placing of these notes helps. This is not bad. I don't like how this works. This grainy sound doesn't sound so good. Let's start from the beginning of the track. Okay, there's a jump here in the sound. Probably if I set to complex. Okay. So we have a little bit of background sound. Yes or no? Oh. So the intro is gonna be pretty long because I want this track to be printed on a vinyl record, and so you need a long intro to match the records. Or this. Not sure about this. I don't like this delay. Maybe just a normal one. This snare is the best. It's my favorite. It's similar to the Olson. Oops. Yeah. Should I record this? Oh, I have to pee. Okay, let me check here. Where did you get the vocal? You were not here at the beginning, right? I shouldn't tell where I get my acapellas from. That's usually a secret, but no problem. It's not something that you should ask to producers. Where do you get the acapella from? It's one of these questions like ED for the tracks, you know? You don't ask those questions. I'm joking. There's no risk in this case, I guess, because it's a super tiny part of the song. It could be my sister singing it, and so I don't think it's recognizable. When it comes out to vinyl, it's not a problem. But when it goes on Beatport, it could, but just only if it gets really famous. I mean, if the tracks do good, does good. Otherwise, nobody will know about it. There are 55 people right now online, as you can see. So thank you very much for. I hope nobody of you fall asleep. But if you did, no problem. I would have to. So it's okay. Cheers, guys. See you in the next one. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.